TNCA started about 10 years ago, and New Classical is growing from there. We really started with a homeschool focus, but have grown and developed since then. We have 56 students enrolled on a 4-year-old kindergarten up through 8th grade. We work upon the trivium, where kids are introduced to topics during the grammar stage.
I have been here for 9 years. We've been open for 10. I teach the pre-K classroom. Our goal is by the end of the year that all the kindergartners will leave out of here reading, and the pre-Kers that are coming up to kindergartner should start reading.
I started teaching at the New Classical Academy the first year that the school opened. A lot of the reason that we teach Latin is because it makes students better students of English. With the younger kids starting in pre-K and up through about 4th grade, most of what we do is conversational. And a lot of that is to make it fun.
It is fun. You have to make it fun so they don't realize they're learning. So, we make it challenging, but not too hard for them. And it has to be fun. We'll sing a lot.
I teach 1st and 2nd grade, and this is my 8th year. Learn to work hard in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade is the most important thing. Let's make learning self-motivated. Let's make learning something that is a personal responsibility. By this time, you're seeing every 2nd grader in my class independently working pencil to paper.
They then progress into the logic stage where they're getting a little bit more depth into why is it the way it is. One of the questions that comes up all the time in the logic stage is why.
By the time they get to what we would call the logic stage in middle school, they have those building blocks which you get from that grammar stage already in place. And so with that background knowledge and with those skills in middle school, we get the opportunity to really start to push them up into that next stage where you're asking, why, how, what's the connection? When we teach history and we're teaching English at the same time, what we're reading in English is going to relate to the history. Whether it's written in the same time period, so that we can talk about, why were people writing about this? What were they feeling? Why were they feeling that?
We begin our rhetoric stage more in 8th grade, where we're really going more in depth into the topics. They go from just writing why to having an opinion about it.
Writing is about having a thesis statement and backing it up with real information. That's what we do in history when we talk about, I think that this was a good decision or a bad decision. So they can get very heated. I've never seen people so passionate about, the election of 1804. But they had very strong opinions. They had to go back and not only find support for, why you should elect Jefferson, but they also had to come up with arguments of why you should not have to elect the other guy.
We're going to play Ancient Egypt Day here, and we're going to build a cardboard pyramid, and we're going to dress up in Ancient Egypt clothes, and we're going to make walls of a tomb, and we're going to do this kind of stuff.
Mommy! So we started with oranges and potatoes, which we removed the innards from and then packed in natron to dehydrate them and mummify them. We wrapped them in linen, and then we painted a sarcophagus for the pharaoh. In addition, we made canopic jars where their organs are stored, each one with a different head representing an Egyptian god. There's also a little book of the dead with magic spells for entering into the underworld, and lots of little things for the pharaoh to enjoy in the afterlife, bowls of food, weapons, games, things like that. So it was about a 6-week-long project, start to finish. That turned out to be really, really fun.
Then in 4 years, that 3rd grader will be a 7th grader, and they'll be reading about ancient Egypt in a textbook or in a first-person narrative, and they'll remember doing that in 3rd grade, and they'll make that connection.
We've hit the part in our growth as a school where we are telling families we can't serve them, and that's always been something we have not wanted to have to say to families. Expanding some classrooms would allow us to go from around that 56 to 60 range up to around 80 students. We're specifically raising money for new desks, new bookshelves, new chairs, all the things that would need to be put into this new classrooms.
After you've been here, you have some really solid blocks, some really solid pieces, academically, self-confidence.
What we found is that our students that leave here, they know how to read and they know how to write, and that puts them so far ahead of most students that are entering high school.
Non-scolai sed vitae discimus, and it means we learn for life, not for school.
Kids are like, at this school, we only work in the mornings. After that, pure fun.